Liz. That's great. Well, here we are again. It's great to see you all, and I'd like to confirm that the Labour Party caucus has elected David Parker as Deputy Leader. As I mentioned before, it's confirmed Grant Robertson as our Leader of the House, and Sue Moroney and Ian Lees-Galloway as Chief Whip and Deputy Whip, respectively. It's been a very positive caucus meeting. Our team is incredibly fired up and enthusiastic for the challenge ahead. We've also agreed that we're going to be setting up some new internal processes, including a new shadow cabinet process, as we model the behaviours that we will need as an incoming government. I'm happy to ask questions, answer questions, and feel free to ask questions of the others as well.
By putting David Parker in as deputy, is that a sign that Labor feels weak on the economy?
Not at all. It's a sign that we prioritise the economy. David Parker will also be our finance spokesperson, and we're bringing both Shane Jones and Grant Robertson in to add additional throwweight to our senior economic team.
How will the new shadow cabinet process work?
It'll be enlarged from the current front bench, and it will meet at the start of each session and play a more formal role in agreeing major policy initiatives as well as taking an overview on our strategy. Grant Robertson will be leading a new House committee which will integrate the strategic perspective into our day-to-day management of the House.
So it won't just be a front bench.
It will be wider than the front bench.
How big will it be?
I'm proposing at this stage 15 members with 2 additional shadow ministers outside cabinet.
So there'll be a 15-person.
15-person shadow cabinet.
Not including the whips.
Not including the whips.
What kind of skills do you feel Shane Jones brings to the economic portfolio?
The most magnificent oratory in the country, and the ability to reach out to a large segment of the 800,000 people who didn't bother to vote last time, as well as a proven record of governance in the business community as the chairman of major corporations and someone who has a very extensive business network.
And Mr. Parker, why should Māori have confidence in you in terms of earning their vote?
Well, you know, some of the old debates about left and right in politics and about identity politics, they're really yesterday's battles. We've got crony capitalism rife at the moment in New Zealand, and really the proper debate is about whether you should govern for all of the people or just the few at the top. And Labor, we plainly govern for everyone.
Do you expect to make many other changes in that front bench?
We're very fortunate to have a very strong front bench team. We will be refreshing the lineup somewhat, and we will be moving some portfolio responsibilities around. We will be making an announcement next Monday, probably early afternoon, but we'll come back to you with details.
Will there be major changes?
I think you'll see that across the caucus it will be a reasonably significant refreshment. But as I say, we have a very high calibre front bench at this stage, so I wouldn't want to overeat the expectations of front bench change.
Is this wider shadow cabinet a recognition that some of the caucus felt that they were shut out of strategy under the old regime?
No, not at all. It's a recognition that we're going to be the government in 12 months' time, and we've got to get ready for it.
Will any Labour staff members be losing their jobs as a result of the merger?
Yes, some will. We've obviously got a standard process here where leaders' office staff are on an events-based contract, so technically speaking, everybody's job's up for redefinition. We'll be obviously rehiring most people. There will be some change to job descriptions, and there will be some that will be advertising.
Is there a touch of irony there when you pledge to extend Part 6A?
No, there's no irony at all.
Well, people are losing their jobs.
Every time there's a change of leadership, it's quite natural for some new blood to come into the team. But I think we'll find by the time the next week or two is over that certainly the majority of our leaders' office staff will carry on business as usual.
How will more people know, because it must be creating a lot of uncertainty?
As soon as possible, and most within the next 24 or 40 hours.
And what will you be basing those decisions on?
Normal processes of selection against criteria. David Parker is the person who I have asked to take an oversight role in terms of those staff processes, and he'll be working closely with our senior staff to ensure that they are going smoothly and appropriate.
Have you appointed a chief of staff?
No, I haven't, and we will be interviewing for that position. There'll be some delay in making that appointment. appointed a Deputy Chief of Staff. Deputy Chief of Staff will be Carl Beckett.
David Parker, the Prime Minister says that you're the wrong man for the job, that you failed to communicate, and that Bill English will wipe the floor of you basically in the House. What do you say to that?
Bill English took the National Party to a historic low in the polls of low 20%. Those sorts of barbs fly in politics. I'm confident that I have not only the trust of David Cunliffe, I have the trust and respect of my caucus, and I will be helping us appear to be the government in waiting that we want to be. We have an agenda of change which we think will make a difference for New Zealanders if we are elected, and we want to be ready and running by the time of the election so that people can be confident that if they vote for us, their lives will improve.
John Key says that you failed to communicate and that you're too pointy-headed. Are you going to have a new change of tact to try and get that message across better then?
I am me. I don't want to be a used car salesman, even if John Key wants to be.
And would you still keep talking about the current council exec? Because he says you talk about it too much and most people don't care.
The reason he's worried about that is because it's too big to keep talking about it.
Do you have any other nominations for deputy?
No, there was only one.
The government's just announced 5 charter schools in Auckland and Northland. Are you vowing to rip up their contracts if you're elected?
Well, I wouldn't use the phrase rip up their contracts, but I want to be very, very clear on behalf of our Labour team that the idea that public funds would be used to fund schools which neither teach the curriculum nor employ as a requirement fully qualified staff, nor are subject to the OIA, is barking mad, and we will not have it.
So these schools should be concerned should Labour get into government next election?
They are embarking on their road in full knowledge of what is policy risk.
So you will legislate against
I
that?
haven't said exactly what tools we will use or what timetable, and I'm not accepting the words in your question, but we've been very clear that Labour Party policy excludes charter schools, full stop. All right, thank you very much.
What are you going to be asking?
That was a full stop.
What are you going to ask me?
No, it's now a semicolon.
Sorry. Your first encounter in the House, what are you going to grill him on?
We're going to be grilling him between us on the magnificent continuation of his crony capitalism, and there are several very recent occurrences of it where he is digging himself, Nationalists digging themselves, a deeper and deeper hole.
Can we expect some fireworks then this afternoon?
I think you can expect a credible and professional opposition holding the government to account by showing light on the facts of what has gone on. So let the public draw their own conclusions. Thank you very much.